Hello, I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and today I need to tell you something that could completely change the way you take care of your memory. Did you know that some fruits you eat every day, believing you're doing the best for your health, might be silently stealing your memory? If you're over 60 years old and lately you've been forgetting names, losing your train of thought in the middle of a sentence, or feeling that brain fog that just won't go away, there's a very good chance that some choices at your breakfast table are making all of this worse. And look, I know it seems unfair. After all, fruits are healthy, right? Well, not always. Not when we're talking about the brain of someone who's already past 60 years of age. I'm going to explain exactly what few doctors tell you in consultations. I'm going to show you what's happening inside your brain right now when you choose the wrong fruit. And most importantly, I'm going to teach you how to make choices that will protect your memory, your independence, and your quality of life for the next 20, 30 years. Because you deserve to age with dignity, with clarity, remembering the important moments and the people you love. So stay with me until the end of this video because this information can literally save your mind. First, let me explain what's happening in your brain at this very moment. As the years go by, our brain goes through natural and inevitable changes. The production of acetylcholine, which is the neurotransmitter responsible for our memory and our ability to maintain attention, begins to naturally decline. At the same time, the brain becomes much more sensitive to inflammation than it was when you were 20, 30, or 40 years old. It's as if it loses part of its protective armor, It becomes more vulnerable. And here's a problem that most people don't know about. Some fruits, even though they're completely natural and full of vitamins, have an extremely high glycemic index. Do you know what this means in practice? It means they release sugar into your bloodstream very quickly and very intensely. This spike in glucose causes a real inflammatory storm inside your brain. This inflammation damages neurons, reduces cerebral blood flow, and accelerates the cognitive decline you fear so much. In other words, you're losing memory faster than you need to. And there's more, this cycle of blood sugar spikes also impairs insulin sensitivity inside the brain, something scientists call type 3 diabetes, which is directly linked to the development of Alzheimer's disease. Frightening, isn't it? Let me tell you a real story that happened in my office. I met Mrs. Maria 2 years ago. She was 68 years old and came to me completely terrified. Doctor, I can't remember my grandchildren's names anymore. Yesterday I left the stove on and almost caused an accident. My husband thinks it's Alzheimer's and I'm scared to death. When she said that, her heart was racing, her hands were trembling. I asked her to calm down and tell me in detail what her diet was like. Right on the first day of the week, she described the pattern already emerged. Doctor, I wake up and have orange juice blended with banana and mango because they say it's healthy. Then, in the afternoon snack, I eat watermelon because it's light and refreshing. I took a deep breath and explained to her as gently as possible that those 3 fruits were literally feeding her problem. They weren't the only causes, of course, but they were at the center of an eating pattern that generated constant sugar spikes throughout the entire day. Her brain was living in a state of chronic inflammation, with no rest, no chance to recover. Can you imagine the impact of this? Let's talk then about the 3 fruits you need to avoid or at least drastically reduce after 60 years old if you want to protect your memory. And look, these fruits aren't villains for everyone, but for those who are over 60 and want to keep their head working well, they're a mistake you can't keep making. The first is mango. That sweet, juicy mango that seems so harmless. Mango has a very high glycemic index and is loaded with fructose, One large mango can have the equivalent of 4 tablespoons of pure sugar. In the mature brain, this quickly transforms into inflammation and cellular oxidation. If you love mango and can't live without it, I understand, but then eat at most a small slice and always together with a good fat, like a handful of nuts, to slow down the absorption of that sugar into the bloodstream. Do you already do this? The second fruit you need to reconsider is watermelon. It seems so harmless. After all, it's practically water, right? Yes, but it's also a bomb of rapidly absorbed sugar. Watermelon's glycemic index is one of the highest among all existing fruits. It causes rapid and intense spikes in blood glucose, followed by sharp drops. And you know what this generates? Mental fatigue. That irritability that seems to come out of nowhere, difficulty concentrating, and in the long term, progressive brain damage. Can you imagine the results if you eliminate this from your routine? And the third is very ripe banana. Look, green or slightly yellow banana is still acceptable. It has resistant starch that even helps your gut health. But that banana with brown spots, very soft, full of starch, that's already been converted into pure sugar. That's a direct shot to your blood sugar. The riper the banana, the higher its glycemic index, and the brain is the one that pays the highest price. It's sad, I know, because many people love very ripe bananas, but the truth needs to be told. Now comes the good part, the part that's going to leave you hopeful and motivated. There are fruits that do exactly the opposite. They protect, nourish, and strengthen your neurons like a true protective shield. These fruits are rich in polyphenols, in powerful antioxidants, and have a low glycemic index. Let me introduce you to the 3 absolute champions of brain health. The first is blueberry. If there's one fruit that should be on every elderly person's plate every day, it's blueberry. It's rich in anthocyanins, which are incredible compounds that manage to cross the blood-brain barrier and reach directly to the hippocampus, which is the region of the brain responsible for memory. Scientific studies published in serious journals show that regular consumption of blueberries significantly improves short-term memory, reduces brain inflammation, and can even reverse small cognitive deficits that have already begun. Do you need to eat a whole bowl? No. Half a cup a day already makes a huge difference. The second protective fruit is avocado. Yes, avocado is a fruit, and it's pure gold for your brain. Rich in good monounsaturated fats, avocado improves cerebral blood flow, stabilizes blood sugar, avoids those peaks and drops that leave you confused, and also provides vitamin E, which is an essential antioxidant to protect neurons from aging. Besides all this, it provides satiety and prevents the sugar spikes that other fruits cause. It's a smart choice in every sense. The third miraculous fruit is strawberry. Small, accessible, easy to find, and absurdly powerful. Strawberry has a low glycemic index, is rich in vitamin C, and contains fisetin, a special flavonoid that protects synapses and stimulates communication between neurons. Recent research shows that people who regularly consume strawberries have a significantly lower risk of developing Alzheimer's over their lifetime. Do you need to eat a pound? No. 5 or 6 berries a day are enough to reap all these benefits. Going back to Mrs. Maria's story, because it has a happy ending that will move you. After she replaced mango, watermelon, and ripe banana with blueberries, strawberries, and avocado in her daily routine, she not only recovered mental clarity, she went back to reading books, went back to doing crossword puzzles she loved, went back to cooking alone without fear of leaving the stove on. Her husband called me emotionally a few weeks later. "Doctor, my wife is back. She's back to being who she was." I had lost hope. It wasn't magic, it wasn't luck. It was science applied with consistency and dedication. The human brain has an incredible ability to recover when you stop attacking it and start nourishing it the right way. In 2 to 3 weeks, chronic inflammation begins to reduce. In 2 months, new neural connections begin to form. Memory improves visibly. Mental energy returns. That fog lifts. And best of all, you regain confidence in yourself. You regain autonomy. You return to living with dignity. So, what can you do now, today, to start protecting your memory? The difference between one fruit and another can literally save your mind, your independence, your future. I'm not saying you can never eat a mango or watermelon again, but if you're over 60 years old, if you want to protect your memory and maintain your independence for the next 20, 30 years, the daily choices you make matter much more than you imagine. Based on recent studies published in respected scientific journals such as Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience and the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, choosing the right fruits isn't a luxury. It's not a whim. It's an intelligent strategy for brain longevity. It's an investment in your future, in your quality of life, in the possibility that you'll age, remembering the important moments and the people you love. So I want you to reflect with me now. The next time you open the refrigerator or go to the market to choose your fruits, ask yourself this simple but powerful question. Is this fruit going to feed my brain and protect my memory? Or is it going to sabotage my mental health without me realizing it? This awareness, this informed choice, makes all the difference between aging with dignity or aging dependent on others. Stay with me here on the channel because what you eat today literally defines who you'll be tomorrow. Your brain deserves the best choices, deserves to be nourished, protected, respected, and you deserve to age with clarity, with memory, with autonomy. If this video made sense to you, if you learned something important today, leave me here in the comments which fruit you're going to start avoiding and which one you're going to include in your routine. I read all the comments, and it makes me happy to know that I'm helping you make better choices. Share this video with someone you love who's over 60 years old. It could be your mother, your father, an uncle, a dear friend. This information can change these people's lives. And subscribe to the channel to receive more science-based content with information that really works and that will help you live longer and better. I'm here every week bringing knowledge that transforms lives. A warm hug, and see you in the next video.